We have a new expansion for the game Cloudspire, and this one is the Harbinger expansion. This is going to be adding a bunch of new factions into the game, as well as a conclusion to the Cloudspire story. There's going to be a bunch of other new additions to the game as well. You'll just have to check out on the campaign because they don't have those listed just yet. But Cloudspire is a really well-received free-for-all strategy battle game where you're trying to destroy your opponent's fortresses in order to win the game. And if you're not familiar with the original game, I'll let you know how that plays in just a second here. But first I want to mention that this one is our Discord pick of the week. And this is a game where players are going to be playing as their own factions that each have their own unique units, which are represented by these different chips here. And these units can have different stats for combat, a different cost in order to put them into play, as well as their own unique special abilities. Each player is also going to have their own unique fortress that can be upgraded in a whole variety of ways. And this is a game that plays over a series of rounds where at the start of each round an event card is going to get drawn that's going to affect all the players. This is mostly there to add a little bit of variety into the game, as players are going to have to roll with the punches if it's something negative, but it could also have some positive consequences, such as providing resources, providing health or upgrades, or even new actions that you can take advantage of, or it could do something completely different like adding some shared threats out onto the board. All players then gain 2 different types of resources, and the amount that you get of each of these resources each round does increase with every round. You're going to be using one of these resources like a currency to purchase things like upgrades for your fortress, or maybe additional units outside of your base faction, or even to purchase new terrain tiles that you'll be able to add onto the shared board. The other resource you can think of as your command points, and you're going to be spending those in order to deploy your units out on the board. The players are each going to be taking turns targeting an enemy unit out on the board, and then moving all of their units equal to their movement amount towards that unit. Moving past certain enemies could trigger them to attack you, and this is done through dice rolling. And there are also adventure tokens that your units could pass by, and they are optional to reveal. But if you do reveal it, you do have to face whatever consequences that token has, which usually will throw you in some sort of battle. But the nice thing about attempting these is that after resolving the effect of that token, you then have the option to build a tower there. Towers are nice because they can grant you some more control out on the board and help in attacking some of the other players that move past them. But wherever your unit does end up stopping, you'll be able to attack anything within the range of your unit. Range is determined by the specific unit stat, so it will vary from unit to unit. But if there are any enemies within your range that you want to attack, you're going to be attacking them through dice rolling, with each player attacking and defending by rolling an amount of die depending on their stats. Of course, knowing each of your special abilities is also important as well because that can have big ramifications on the battle. But something that's neat that can help you a lot in battles is that when you deploy your units, you can actually choose to stack units on top of each other so that any unit on top protects the units below it. So that means that if a player is able to defeat your unit, you're instantly going to have another one full health ready to go beneath it. But the game continues like this until you've either destroyed your opponent's fortress or have destroyed enough of their units. If you're able to do that, then you win the game, and if you do want to check this one out, I will have it linked down below.